welcome back to By Prayer and Fasting. My name is Christine, and in this video I wanted to go over the Sterling Ink goal planner setting spread that she puts in all of her planners, and so hopefully it might give you some ideas to start thinking about your goals for 2026, and then also how I ditched Hobonichi Cousin and I started in on the TN size Sterling Ink planner. So I'm going to kind of go over some of those, how that's going, and then just show you I hand cut all of these little stickers. And so I just want to encourage somebody that, you know, you can print and cut stickers off Etsy. You don't have to have a cutting machine. You can cut them by hand. And I wanted to show you the sticker release books from Traveler's Notebook that I am so impressed with. Like, the stickers just stick so nicely to them. The quality of them is amazing. And so I bought two in two different sizes, and I'll show you those. If that's something you'd like to see, then please keep watching. Okay, so I know that was such a long introduction, but it's probably going to be a long video. So first, what I want to go over is these stickers and how my TN undated common planner is going. So I just jumped into this a week ago, and I want to show you some of the spreads in here, and just let you know like what my thoughts are on it, my first impression thoughts, because I've never used Sterling Ink before. So this is my first year using their notebooks and their planners, and so yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this. So these are my stickers. This is my A6. Actually, it is just a commonplace notebook. I turned a Hobonichi A6 planner into a commonplace notebook, which I love this, and I'll show you why in just a second. So, oh, I need that open because in here I have the sticker release. So I got one in the passport size, Traveler Notebook Company passport size. I got that for in here because I put this little pocket in here, and it's just the perfect size to just slip in here. I take this on the go with me, so to have some stickers in here is just amazing. I love it. So like today I had to just sit in my car, and so I was able to kind of get this out and process some things back here because it is just a notebook. So anyway, these were fun. So these will go in here. Some of them will go in here. I also sell press-on nails on my eBay store that I hand make. And so I thought it would be cute in the set that I just sold to send one of these with one of these. So that's another way that you can use them as like a gift. Isn't that cute? I think she'll love it because she's a returning customer. So I think she'll be happy to get that. And so I have one of the sticker release books in there. And then I have one in here. This is my Moterm planner. This is the cover, and I turned this into a sticker storage. I just got done finishing setting this up. So I put like some of these strips in here that are cool. And so what I use this for is when I do my memory keeping, I have this sitting on the edge of my desk. And so I kind of just started stuffing it full. So I'll show you that. So in here are some papers that I can use for memory keeping. And then here's some doilies, some tags in here. These are like the photo paper that you can like glue your photos down to. So I have all that right there. And then in here, I have this insert, which is a Traveler's Notebook insert. And so it has 60 of these pockets. So you can just, I just filled it full of stickers. So when I'm sitting down, memory keeping, I can just go through here, pick out some stickers. So these are all like junk journaling pieces of paper. We have tags. So just fun, and some envelopes. And then these I put in here just because they're the small little quotes. So I just got the file folder, Kraft file folder. And so on this one, I haven't quite decided what I want to use it for, but it is holding some washi strips. And then here's the bigger size sticker release. So I just went on Etsy and I purchased digital downloads. I pulled them into Canva, sized them how I wanted, and then I just printed them for personal use, and I hand cut all these stickers. And I've used sticker release paper before, and there's just like something so different about the Traveler's Notebook Company sticker release paper. It's just so good. So I love that. So I got one for in here and one for in my A6. So then I have the zipper pouch, and I put some stickers in here, some quotes in here. I have some envelopes, and then just some more pieces of paper for memory keeping. So I like how this turned out. And so some of these will go in here. Some of them will be given out in orders to my customers from eBay, and yeah. So I was using a Hobonichi Cousin, and it's quite a bit bigger in size because it is the A5 size. And so I scaled everything way down for 2026, but I wanted to jump in to the TN size by Sterling Ink, and I wanted to see how I liked it for the last 3 months of this year, 2025, before I completely switch in 2026. So that is what I did. I got an undated common planner just to try it out, and I absolutely love it. And then I have my commonplace notebook that pairs like perfectly with my planner and my on the go. So the Hobonichi A6 was really cheap because I bought an expired version of it to try it all out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch in 2026 or sooner, you never know with me, to the Sterling Ink A6 common planner. So that will be my notebook, and this will be my planner. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over how this one is going. So I've been in here for a week. I put this patch on. I put a piece of tape on the back of him so he's not permanent, just in case. I did get the plastic cover for this. I'll try to slow down because I can talk really fast. And so I have a whole video on the unboxing of this if you want to go check it out. But I wanted to fill out this with you. So this is the goal breakdown: someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily. And so the good thing about getting this and trying it out for the last 3 months of the year is that I kind of was not so nervous to write in here, because I was writing in here to try the planner out and see how I liked it. And it's kind of hard to explain, but it just really scaled my nerves back. And so I was able to just freely write in here without any, I mean, I was worried about it a little bit, but you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I was freely able to write in here. So this is undated. So what I did was I hand wrote all of the quarters. Now this has like no dates on it, so I could continue it in to January for my content, which I record Bible studies and then other planner videos. So, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we are here in quarter 3, July through September. So I had to fill this out so I could get to September. And so what I did was I put all the numbers in black, And then I put all the days of the week in this Winsor Newton in brown, and I like how that turned out. I like how you can clearly see the difference from the dates to the weeks. And then I wrote all the videos that I recorded in September. And then down here were all my YouTube shorts that I did. And so up here, I did a September goal, and I kept in mind that I might be using this in July and August in the future. So I started the September down here. I put some stickers on, which I love stickers. These are by Live Love Posh. And then, so this is your priorities. And then this is like the breakdown of it. So then I just broke down the videos that I wanted to record, what it was going to look like. And so that's how I did that. And then the next page I did, this is, so I did all these dates. And then, so I really just use this for my Bible study videos, because I have to plan out months in advance what those are going to look like. And so I just put my priority for October was to finish the book of Revelation, and then what that would look like week by week. And you can use this for anything. Like, this is just like an idea, you know what I mean? All these are just ideas, and my ideas might trigger ideas of your own, you know what I mean? And so I just went through and did week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all the way down to week 12. So I planned out 12 weeks of Bible study videos to carry us through to the end of December. And then I'll go from there. I do know that in doing this process, I definitely want to use my 2026 N1 Common Planner just like this. I really like this, and I like how it turned out. So I want to continue that. So then we have my calendar. I put dots on the dates that I have bills due. I did not write my bills out on here. I just wanted to do the dots to trigger my mind, because in the back of this planner, I wrote out all my bills, how much each one is, when they're due, and then I did like a graph, a graph to be able to check them off January through December. And so that is how I use the calendar. And I did do like my oil change for my car, my husband's birthday, and I decorated it. And then this is a stamp. So I like how that turned out. So this planner is a vertical, and I turned it into a horizontal. So I was thinking about doing this already in my Hobonichi Cousin. Well, in fact, I did do this in my Hobonichi Cousin. So the weekend before my planner came in, my Sterling planner came in, I set this page up like that, and I really, really liked it. So this one I used as a vertical spread, and then this one I flipped horizontal. I never did use this because I moved into the TN, but I did take this layout and then scale it way down to put it in here. And so we'll go over that a little bit. So I have this week, anything that stands out, like my husband's birthday party, my homeschool for my kiddo. Up here, I just wrote important. So then I have like this box here. I can write anything in there that's important. No sugar, homeschool, things like that. So I did all of that. My focuses to post and ship on my eBay store every single day. And then content, Bible study. Here, I really like how this turned out. So I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way down to Sunday. But then I wrote the date. So this is the 22nd. I wrote 2 on this side and 2 on that side. And I like that. So this week I flipped it and put Monday the 29th. But I'm going to go back to the other way because I like how that looks. So this is my whole week, and what I did was I put what happens in the morning in my day, the afternoon, and at night. So that's how I have it set up all the way down. Down here I did tasks, but these are tasks that I actually completed. And so I'm kind of like a back planner. So I like to come in here at the very end of the day and fill this out of everything that actually happened. And of course I'll put things on here, you know, for future reference, but for the most part, I am a total back planner. I like my planner to be filled out on things that I actually did. And so then I put a sleep tracker in here. This I decided that I would connect the dots at the end of the week because I think it would be a really cool like little reward to be able to connect them all on Sunday. I put the Lord is my light and my salvation, Psalms 27:1. So I have a scripture in here. I'll probably reflect on that right here. And then I put this box for next week. So I have some things to think about next week. And then I did my food log. I'm gonna switch this next week to just say dinner instead of food log, because I just want to know what I personally ate for dinner, because my eating is separate from my family's, because I've been on this weight loss journey. And so I just want to know what my dinner is every night. So then that way in the future, when I'm trying to think about what I can eat, I can just easily come back in here and look at all my options. So, and then I did a highlight. So that was my husband's birthday, his party, all that kind of stuff. So we did all that. Okay, and then we're gonna head back here. So since I wasn't gonna be using all of these pages in here, I decided to dedicate one to habit and mood tracker. So I got that idea off YouTube and I liked it. And so I just wrote all the things I want to track, and I just track them every day. And then my mood: happy, anxious, calm, affectionate, disappointed, grateful. And then I wrote steady, because it's like I need something for a day where it's just steady. It's just normal. Like I didn't have a really happy emotion or a really sad emotion. It just was steady. So I wrote that in there. And then right here I did a happy face, a sad face, and a normal face. So that's my overall mood. So I do love how that turned out. And then we did make these pencil boards on my channel, so definitely check that video out. Okay, and then back here, this side's going to be all my bills, and it has all the amounts and everything. And then I put in an index because all these pages, this blank notebook pages, are numbered. So I can put the page number in the event that happened on that day. And then moving on, this is where my dailies start. So I was in Hobonichi and I was feeling really kind of overwhelmed with how much blank space there was to fill out on the daily pages. And that's really what pushed me over the edge to try the TN, like the Traveler's Notebook standard size, from Sterling Ink. So I really like it. It's taken so much anxiety away from me. So I put this calendar here. This is from Sterling Ink. These are her free downloads, so you can print as many as you want. And then I did my daily page like this, where I put this was September 23rd and this was September 24th. So it's just so much less to fill out, you know what I mean? And I don't feel so overwhelmed right now. So I'm going to continue to do that. I've been setting these up a couple of days in advance and then going back in. And so then also when the month changes, I put a new dashboard. So this is for October. So I got to do all that today. So anyway, that is how that is going. But what I wanted to do is show you how I processed the goal sheet. I don't know what I'm going to do for these blank pages yet, but I'll come up with something. So I just think it's been cool to get this and just fill it all out and see what's working and what's not working before my I ordered the 2026 N1 full year vertical planner from Sterling Ink that will be for starting in January. And so I wanted to just get in here and see what was going to work and see what wasn't going to work. So this has been fantastic for that. Okay, so then what I did was I took my A6 and I grafted out this whole chart right here and processed how I would want to fill it out and write it into my planner. So I totally recommend doing this because it's really good so that, well, one, you can try to prevent mistakes before you actually permanently put it into your planner. And so that's what I love about this commonplace notebook that I have is I can process anything in here. I have some press-on nail sets that I want to do, and so I just took a blank page in here and I wrote all that out, like what color I want them to be, what design I want them to be, what shape, what size, and so it's just so good. And then also when I'm on the go, I can jot down anything that I want to transfer over to my catch-all planner when I get home that day. Like if I'm at a doctor's or the school or anything like that. In here, there are 6 boxes in this row, which those are going to be all your categories. So you're going to have to come up with 6 categories. And so I just kind of, for my 6, I just thought to myself, what is really important to me in my life, And I started to write those things down. So I'll go over my categories with you. So the first one is faith. That's so important to me. My relationship with God, and my goals around building my faith and content around God, our Bible studies. It's just the number one thing in my life is my faith in God and what my relationship with Him looks like. So I put that first. Okay, and then my next one is finances. So my finances are really important to me to kind of keep on track and have some goals around my finances. So we'll take a look at that. And then next I have my journaling. So journaling's become a really big part of my life. And I want to be successful at it. So I put it on here as a goal. And these can change, you know what I mean? This is just somebody who's never filled one of these out before, trying to do the best she can and also bring some ideas to the planner community. You know what I mean? So this is what I came up with. You know what I mean? And then my 4th category is family and relationships. So it's super important to me to nurture my relationships with my family, and that can be with my kids, my husband, as well as outside of our home, like my sisters, and things like that. So I put some goals on here for relationships. And then the last 2 I did as health. So I've been, like I said, on this weight loss journey, and so I wanted to have something around like my health and losing weight and what I'm eating and everything. But then I also did self-care because I think mental health and physical health go hand in hand. Like you can't be ruining one and the other one thrives. So you need a balance of your mental health and your physical health. And so I just did those as two separate categories. Those are all my categories. Now let's break them down. So we have here, we have our category, then we have someday, 1 year, half year, monthly, weekly, and daily. So I screwed up already. See, that's why this is so important. I'm not going to scratch this video. We're going to continue on and just let, my downfalls help you to not make the same mistake. So I didn't write in quarterly. So I'm glad I did it this way. But let's keep going because I just want this to be ideas. Okay, so for faith, someday I put studied. So someday I want to have studied every single chapter in the Bible in depth, like a deep dive study. So we're currently doing that right now. We're doing a chapter a week. I record those videos on this channel. So I'll continue with that, but it's going to take a very long time. It's going to take years and years and years for me to have deeply studied every single chapter in the Bible. So I put that there. And then I have 1 year. So in 1 year, I'd like to have completed 52 chapters. Half year. So now it just gets easy because all I did was break it down. Half year is 26 chapters. Monthly is 4 chapters. Weekly is 1 chapter. And then how am I going to get to these goals? I'm going to study God's word daily. So that's daily. So we're going to move on to our next category, and I'm just going to be vulnerable, tell you some personal information with the hopes that it just helps somebody. So there are some numbers in here of my credit cards. So for my finances, my someday goal is to have no debt, but our mortgage payment. And so because planners are every year, you get a new planner. I wanted to keep my goals super realistic. Ultimately my goal would be to be debt free, but I'm going to start this with my someday having no debt other than our mortgage. And then I can change that in the future, but I want to be realistic about it. So that is what I did for someday. Okay, and so in 1 year to pay off my credit card, which is $3,500, so I want to pay that off. So then I broke it down to a half year would be $1,500. What can I do monthly to reach these goals would be to put all my extra money on the credit card. And then weekly, what can I do to achieve these goals would be don't put money on your credit card, and then a daily thing that I could do to reach these goals is track it in my planner, like in my weekly section, put it in there and focus on it. So I put that as my daily, but it's more like just being aware of it every day. You know what I mean? Having it somewhere that you work in every day, which is my weekly spread, that you see it on a daily basis. So you're constantly reminded of, oh yeah, I am working on that goal. And then we're going to move on to my third category, which is journaling. So I'll just run down. So someday I want to have lots of books full of memories and photos, and I want to show you what I mean. This is my Traveler's Notebook cover. I moved into the TN this year for the very first time, and I love this. So I did some more work in here. So I added this zipper pocket pouch. So that's the back of it, that's the front. And then this is my journal. So I want to have this full in here. I want to someday have lots of these like on a bookshelf to be able to look at. And the reason for that is that if I'm ever like super old in a nursing home, or just even in my own home, you know, and I want to be able to pull these out and read them and remember, you know what I mean? Remember my life. So I just think that this is so important, you know what I mean? So I have that, what I want to do, and then all of my photos. So I want to have lots of these. This is just, oh yeah, I did this. Let me show you this. It's pretty cool. So I put this in here, which is a file Kraft folder. And then I just stuck this like this. And I just think that's so awesome, because now I can just pull this out, set it on my desk, and do my memory keeping. And it's all like lays completely flat. And then when I'm done, I can just put it back in here. And I put it on this side because it fits in here so much better when it closes. And so I just want to have a whole bunch of these books filled out with memories. And so then I'll look and I'll see a shelf, and it'll have all my pictures and memory keeping books. And then another shelf will have like all of my journals, and it'll just be so awesome to be able to sit there and look at them and read them and share them with loved ones. I know my son loves when I memory keep. He loves it, and he loves going back and looking at it all. So that is what I mean. Okay, so that was my someday goal. Have lots of books that are full of entries and photos. And then in 1 year, I'm going to evaluate what's working in my system. And so whatever, hopefully it's just like small things that I might need to change, like, I don't know, the size of my photos, the color of my stickers that I'm using. Anyway, there's like so many things, but I just want to evaluate the situation. And then a half year to reach this goal is I want to, every 6 months, I want to buy the number of notebooks that I'm going to need for the next 6 months. So it would probably be 3 to 6 of those notebook inserts, blank, you know. And then monthly, have all my supplies, my photo paper. I want to print and cut stickers. So that is like a monthly goal. Sit down. That's why I'm doing this. Have those all together and put those all in my sticker storage organizer. So when I do sit down, it's just everything flows. And I think that when everything flows, you're so much more likely to do it. You know what I mean? And then weekly, I can track it in my planner. So I showed you my tracking in here, one of those boxes. So right here is in the tracker, I put TN photos and then journaling. So I track that because that encourages me to do it all the time. You know what I mean? And then daily is an entry per day and a photo, either a photo or decor in my memory planner. So one day I'm sitting down and I'm putting photos in. The next day I am decorating with stickers or writing about those photos, but I'm just doing something to get to my goal. Okay, and then my next category is family and relationships. So I want to be able to go on 2 really nice vacations a year. So that is my someday. And then my 1 year is just like consistently send birthday cards and gifts to my long distance relatives. So that would be an awesome goal. And then a half year, I want to, every 6 months, I want to see my long distance relatives. So particularly my sisters. I want to go out of my way to go hang out with them, go camping with them, and just spend quality time with them. You know what I mean? And then monthly, take time with each loved one, go out to dinner. So this is more for like my kiddos. I have 2 boys, so my kiddos and my husband. So go out individually with each one of them and go to dinner every single month. We do that right now, but it's not every single month, you know. And then weekly, my weekly goal for my relationships is to text my sisters every single week and just be in that constant contact with them. And then daily. So I want to have daily intentional conversations with my kids. How was your day? What did you do today? Just like, you know, be very intentional about it. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I talk to my kids, I do. But you know what I mean. I just want to be more intentional about pulling them aside, having those one-on-one times. Like me and my husband just went disc golfing, and we took our youngest dog with us, and she ran around and chased the frisbee, and it was just so much fun. And so we do things like that, but I want it to be more. You know what I mean? And so those are my relationship goals. Okay, and then let's move on to health. So my health category is I want to have my ideal weight, which is 165. So that's my someday goal is 165. And so probably have to lose a total of 30 pounds to get there. So let's see, 65, 75, 85. So 20 pounds. So I need to lose 20 more pounds to get there. So I've already lost 15, which is awesome. So in 1 year to get to this goal, I'd like to lose that 20 pounds. And then half year, evaluate what's working, food that I'm eating, my intermittent fasting, just adjust things, you know. If I see that I'm not like losing at least a pound a week, something needs to be adjusted. So I want to evaluate that every 6 months. Monthly, what can I do? I can track my food choices. So I showed you in my planner how I'm writing down my dinners. So I just eat 1 meal a day. I eat 1 meal a day, and then I have pistachios and like a small block of cheese or 2 small blocks of cheese, a bowl of granola, and a banana. Like, that's like what I eat. So I just have that 1 meal a day, and then those other things throughout the day. And then weekly I want a meal plan. And so I kind of am doing that based on writing down what I'm eating for dinner right now. And then I can go back and see what I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? That's a plan. That's the way I'm saying that I'm going to do it when I say meal plan. And then daily, what can I do daily? No sugar. So I completely gave up sugar And that's a really hard one for me. And so I need to work on that every day, saying no to sugar, you know? And sometimes I do, like we had my husband's birthday party and I had a piece of cake. But then if it's a daily goal, I can constantly be getting on track. If I'm constantly aware of that goal. So tracking that in my weekly planner, that we're not doing no sugar. So in my weekly spread, you saw at the top, important, that was up there. It said no sugar. And so that's what I can do daily. We've made it to the last one, self-care. So this category, someday I want to have perfect peace. My 1-year goal is to read 10 self-help books, faith-based. I couldn't come up with a half-year goal, so if you want to give me any ideas, that would be awesome. And then monthly, doing my spiritual fasting for 3 days every single month. That's so important to me because that resets everything, my mind, my body, my spirit, everything. So I want to stay on top of that every month. And then weekly I meditate. So I'll lay on my bed, I'll put on headphones, and I will listen, just like let the Word of God play, and I will meditate. I also like Michael Seeley, and so just incorporating that every single week, 1 to 2 times, is really good for my mental health. And then daily, this is the biggest one. For self-care, mental health, self-care, is to stay in God's Word. Every single day, stay in God's Word. So, okay, so those are my ideas. I haven't written them in here yet. Obviously, I got to go back and make the quarterly because I completely left out that section. But if you follow me on By Prayer and Fasting on Instagram, once I have like this spread all filled out, I will take a photo of it and put it on my Instagram account so you can see that there. But I just wanted to give ideas. Like I said, all this can change. This is just my first attempt to fill out this goal spread, because I've never done it before. And so I just wanted to fill it out, see what that would look like. And then when I got through all of it, I thought, well, that might help somebody, you know what I mean? For them to see like how I started filling it out. So I will probably redraft this again, add that quarterly in there. And then also process if these goals are good enough. This is for my 2026, so I have 3 months, you know what I mean? I have plenty of time to dial this all in, to put it on here, and then next year when I get my like official 2026 planner, I can transfer it over. I can figure out if I want to add some like ephemera, stickers, like whatever I want to do, washi tape. I'm not sure yet because this page is super intimidating. I don't know if I'm the only one that is intimidated by this page, but it is. But it's also totally doable, you know what I mean? And then the last thing I want to say is, like, for your goals, they don't have to be extravagant. You know what I mean? They can just be simple. Like, some of these are really simple, like the journaling, you know? It's just basically whatever's really important to you. That's what you're going to put on there. And, you know, things can change. They have created this beautiful thing called whiteout. And so you can just change it, you know? So anyway, that is where we will end the video. Feel free to screenshot this if you want to take a look at it. And hopefully something in the video helped you for this goal spread. We will catch you in the next one. Please consider subscribing. All right. Bye-bye.